So you might already know that this channel has a lot to do with money, your career, and having a positive mindset for success. But you may have previously been thinking, or just not thinking at all, what has mindset actually got to do with anything? Guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you, shifting my mindset when it comes to things like personal finance has been absolutely huge for me. And the reason why I say that is because I only made significant progress when it came to my finances because of two things. One was on a more spiritual level, so it was really to do with my faith with God and the relationship that I have with God. But the second was really having a shift in my mindset, which actually created change. And with that, a lot of it actually came from reading books. So in this video, I want to talk about 7 personal finance books that have really changed my mindset, but also have just changed my life. And whilst you're watching, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. Plus, feel free to use my affiliate links in the description below because that includes all the books that I'm going to be outlining in this video. So book number 1 is a book that I have mentioned a couple of times before, and this is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now guys, when I tell you this book changed my life, I'm not even joking. This book completely changed my life, honestly. And it's so weird because I just had no idea how people got rich. So what I used to think before was that you'd obviously go to university, you would have to get a corporate job, and you would just work your way up the career ladder. So in my mind, that is exactly where I was heading. So I always just wanted to climb up the career ladder. But guys, you will find that a lot of those people that work in corporate jobs, even though some of them are earning 6 figures, a lot of them are still broke and living paycheck to paycheck. And really, you're more likely to see them as middle class rather than rich. And that's exactly what's illustrated in this book. So I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, but basically you have the author, who is Robert, and he basically had 2 dads. So he had his rich dad, which was actually his friend's dad, but then he also had his poor dad, which was actually his biological dad. Now, when he says poor dad, his dad wasn't actually poor in a sense. So his dad was actually well educated, he had a really good job, but to be honest, it's really more so about his mindset and in terms of, you know, whether he actually owned assets or liabilities. So you could see that the rich dad was more likely to invest in a lot of assets, and you can see that his poor dad was more likely to just spend money on liabilities, basically. Yeah, we just had to buy a BMW because it just went perfect with our new house. And how that book is basically illustrated is it talks about the 3 different people. So you've got your poor people, you've got middle class, and then you've got rich people. And really, the poor and middle class tend to just spend their money on expenses and liabilities, so really things that take money out of your pocket, whereas the rich really focus on assets, so that's putting money in your pocket. So ideally, if you do want to build wealth, then you really need to be investing in assets that will actually pay for your liabilities. And guys, when I basically read this and understood it, my mindset completely shifted, because I then realized I don't need to be earning 6 figures for me to become rich, because a lot of people who you think are rich, they're actually middle class. Because if those same people are earning about £100,000 a year, but they basically have the one job and their car is financed, they have a huge mortgage and they can't afford it, plus they have credit card debt, well, then they're not actually rich. So yeah, for me, it was a complete game changer. And even the way he talks about your house, so your primary residence actually being a liability rather than an asset. No, Verenia, everyone has told me that my house is an asset. That's kind of what you really tend to hear, you know, people telling you have to buy a house because your house is an asset. Yes, you can buy a house, but really it's not actually an asset unless it's putting money in your pocket. If your house isn't actually putting money in your pocket, then Robert actually says that your house is a liability, because actually it's taking money out of your pocket. You're paying your mortgage, you're paying maintenance, you're paying for everything. There's nothing else coming in. Now, of course, there are ways that you can make your house an asset. So for example, if you had a lodger in that was paying rent, then yes, your house would become an asset. Now, I should say that Robert is not telling anyone not to buy a house. That's not the case. It's really just challenging your mindset and thinking actually your house is probably a liability. So yes, you can live in it, and yes, you can buy your house, but really seeing your house as a liability rather than an asset, unless you're planning to turn it into an asset. So if there was one book that I would recommend, it would definitely be that one. The second book I want to talk about is Cash Flow Quadrant, and that is also another Robert Kiyosaki book. Again, this one I absolutely loved, and that basically just brought me to another level. And basically in the book, Robert talks about there being 4 different quadrants that people are likely to fall into. So the left hand side, you've got your employee and your self-employed, and then on the right hand side, you've got your business owner and investor. So basically, if you're on the left hand side and you're an employee, then of course you have a job. Under that, you might be self-employed, so he says that you own a job. But then on the right side, you've got a business owner, so you will actually own the system and then people will work for you. And then you've also got the investor, so that is where money will work for you. And what I got from that book is, again, it's really about your mindset rather than just the practicalities of everything. And what he basically says is that the majority of people are actually likely to fall in the left side quadrant, so you're employed and self-employed, compared to the right side, and the rich people are more likely to be seen on the right side of the quadrant. So for example, if you're on the left side and you're an employee, you might want that for job security or you're trading your time for money. And again, there's another mindset shift when he talks about people thinking that they might be a business owner, but really they're probably self-employed if you're still having to trade time for money. So yeah, I just found that book so interesting, and he really kind of challenges you to think about moving to the right side of the quadrant. Now, guaranteed that not everyone is going to be a business owner, and when I first read that, I wasn't planning to be a business owner either. I basically wanted to be employed, but it doesn't stop you from being employed or self-employed, but also being an investor at the same time. And he also gave examples of people that, yes, may have been employed, but they were also investors at the same time. So yeah, another Robert Kiyosaki book that I absolutely love. So the third book I'm going to talk about is Total Money Makeover, and that is by Dave Ramsey. Now, I absolutely love Dave Ramsey. I think he is absolutely hilarious. He has a talk show, and obviously he's based in the US. I would basically be watching his talk shows all the time, especially when I was trying to pay off my debt. So for me, this book really helped when it came to motivation of actually paying off my consumer debt. So Dave Ramsey absolutely hates all kinds of debt. He is just not a fan. I don't pay cash for my cars, okay? That's what finance is for. And he has these baby steps that will take you from point zero, so if you've got a whole load of debt and you can't manage your money properly, all the way to baby step 7, where you're able to actually invest and give to others. So yeah, as I said, that really helped me when it came to things like paying off my debt, and it actually helped me to understand why I just wouldn't want to be in high interest debt, for example. So that is really what helped me to just sacrifice a load of stuff and just try and pay that debt off as soon as possible. And if you do end up reading Total Money Makeover, guys, just remember you'll be making a few sacrifices. Now, granted, I probably don't agree with every single thing that he says, particularly when it comes to sort of his investing plan, but really the paying off debt part, that honestly just helped me and I absolutely loved it. And I also love his quote where he tells you to live like no one else so that later on you can live and give like no one else. So I absolutely love Dave Ramsey. The next book I want to talk about is The 4-Hour Work Week. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you would know that this is currently what I'm reading right now, and I absolutely love this book. I think it's an absolute game changer, and for me, it's really looking at just creating systems to just make your life a lot more efficient but also effective at the same time. And really, it just challenges you to prioritize and rethink about some of the things that you're doing. So for example, it might be hiring an assistant or just not checking your emails every single day. Hello, yes, sorry, I only email once a week now, so if you've got something important to say, you've got my number. What I like about this book is it's not even just for people that might be entrepreneurs or business owners. It also gives you ideas even if you're an employee as well, so no matter what your circumstance is. Now, I do think some of the ideas are maybe slightly radical, but at the same time, it's just really just challenging my mindset just to think differently. So absolutely love the book. The fifth book is The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, with this book, it's quite an interesting one because it's a relatively short read, and because it's quite historical, the language is a bit different as well. But again, this is a really, really powerful book, and this is something that I read when I was just starting on my personal finance journey. So if you're a complete beginner when it comes to personal finances, then this is quite a good book to read. And it basically talks about the principles or rules of money. So for example, when it comes to things such as saving your money, controlling your expenses, protecting your finances as well, and investing your money, so all of that good stuff. So it's definitely a good start. It does tell you to start saving about 1/10 of your income. Now, saving 10% of your income might not be enough to make you a millionaire by the age of 65, but it's a start. But the principles, I think, are pretty much there. Plus, I think this was the book that talked about paying yourself first. So if you have seen my saving video where I save over £1,000 a month, the main reason why I'm able to do that is because I pay myself first.
The first thing I always do is I pay myself first every single month. Now, this was a game changer for me.
So as soon as I read that, guys, that has helped me dramatically. You guys will already know that paying myself first is something that I try to do every single time without fail. So I would definitely recommend reading that book, especially if you are a complete beginner. So then the next two that I want to recommend are actually more UK focused, because you may have noticed that the other books are more US based, but these two books have really been helping me when it comes to things like my finances and investing. I don't need to invest my money. I have a job for life. There's no way they'd fire me. So the first one I want to talk about is The Meaningful Money Handbook, and that is by Pete Matthew. And I think this is a book that I've mentioned before in one of my budgeting videos, but this was really a good book to read, especially when I was at the beginning of my finances. So again, when I was at the beginning of my personal finance journey. And Pete also has a podcast as well, so I actually found the podcast and the books really, really helpful, and he basically separates things into things that you need to know and then things that you actually need to do. So really, if you want to be a lot more practical and you want to know exactly what you need to do, it then, that book was just really useful for me. And then the next one, although UK focused, it was actually property focused, but I absolutely love this book. It's called A Complete Guide to Property by Rob Dix. So if you are interested in property investment, then this is definitely a great book to read. It just made things so simple, and things that I thought were complicated or I just wouldn't be able to do because I'm a complete beginner, that book really helped me to understand things, especially when it came to things like researching your property and actually what it means when you have a buy to let and all of that stuff. So I would definitely recommend that book if you are interested in property investment, because ideally it just helped me to believe that I can actually achieve something even if I'm a complete novice and I have no idea what I'm doing. This book actually allowed me to understand why people invest in property. So yeah, definitely a good book. And the author also co-hosts a podcast as well, so it's called The Property Podcast. I absolutely love that podcast. Honestly guys, if you're looking to invest in property, that is exactly where I started listening to that podcast and reading that book, because that's what really helped me to understand where I wanted to go and how I can actually invest in property. So definitely recommend. Again, I will link all these books in the description below, but if you did like this video, then remember to give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what other personal finance books would you recommend. I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.